Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing a new review for a Sims pack actually for The Sims 4 Get Together. Before we proceed, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, this would be great help, and without further ado, let's jump right into the game. So, in case you don't know, I do a randomizer wheel after each pack review, which includes expansion packs, game packs, and stuff packs currently. And I get to randomly get a pack that I install and review. Of course, I own those packs when they came out back in the day. This pack came out in 2015, which is like 8 years ago. But I really kind of kept installing them, playing. I didn't really get into the game, and with this experience, I really tried to get into the minds of the creators of the game, trying to understand what did they try to achieve with The Sims 4, because lately I think they're doing better, but originally it kind of didn't connect to me everything that was happening. So let's go ahead and read the official description. Welcome to the beautiful world of Windenburg, where there's always something fun to do with other Sims. Explore scenic neighborhoods and lively hotspots, get together for exciting group activities, and join clubs to meet new Sims and live it up. In The Sims 4 Get Together, there are always a great reason to get together. Okay, there's a catchphrase. Expansion pack features. Explore a beautiful new world, discover new venues, get together for exciting group activities, learn new DJ and dancing skills, and join unique clubs. Right. Originally, I thought this was quite weird. After Get to Work had this like energy that your Sims became this like main character, and somehow they are controlling the Sims life. And yes, it was lacking because if your Sims didn't work there, you couldn't really go to those lots, like to police station or the hospital if you got sick. So this was a bit weird, but I thought eventually this would always be updated to that, and it did not. Currently I have installed only Get to Work, Get Together and Seasons, so I still have a long way to go with reviews for expansion packs, and this one will be quite short because the game is quite old. I did quite explicitly long review of Get to Work, I did a very short for Seasons, and I think I'll stick with very short review for Get Together as well. First things first, let's look at official screenshots. So this is the new world Windenburg. Is it definitely European inspired? I would say this is something like Switzerland, Austria, maybe France, but probably Germany was a big inspiration here. In case you don't know, I live in Italy and I'm on the other sides, in the North Italy actually, and I'm on the other sides of the Alps. So I kind of get the same view but with very different architecture. So it's interesting to see, and every time I fly somewhere, I always pass by the mountains, and immediately I'm very drawn to this world because this feels like home. This feels like something I'm into. Learn new DJ and dancing skills. I have never been into that. I am not into that myself, but I would really love to explore this in a gameplay. I think it could be interesting to have Sim as a DJ or as a dancer. I know the dancing here is mostly like club dancing skill, but it could be interesting if they really went and expanded the dancing, because it's a small skill. Then there are exciting group adventures, there are lots of new drinks, new coffees and stuff that give you different moodlets, which is cool. There's this bonfire and some other things that I'm very excited to add into my gameplay. And of course, the most important thing of this whole pack are the clubs. The clubs originally felt weird idea. I did not like when the game came out, I didn't even play in them. But then eventually I realized I could make my own clubs, and I could have my family club, I could have my family gatherings. I don't have to invite all the Sims home, and I can actually get perks and evolve this club through generations of the Sims. As well, we'll go very quickly through cast because there's not many items that are interesting, but solely because fashion wise, because the pack came out so long ago, but there are worthy things. For example, first of all, there are many. Second of all, they kind of include children as well. Let me just quickly go through them one by one. So I really like this skirt we got. For example, the mini skirt there in the first row. I love all of the hair actually. I know there are people who don't like Maxi's hair whatsoever. Originally, as a CC user, I also was like, why are we still getting those? Now, since I play on console, I really appreciate any hair that come my way. So I'm quite happy with the hair. Actually, even for children, this anime-inspired things. I like kind of a mix of classic and hip hairstyles, I guess would be correct word. Then we got some cool sandals and dresses and outfits for girls and boys as well. And we got some more elegant things for men and for women as well. But also we got some really cool boots, because I mean we are in Europe, boots is what you wear. So the boots finally are here, and a big amount of them actually. This hair that is currently in the blue swatch in the center is my absolute favorite from this pack. Then if you go forward, there are some like nightclubish outfits of the time. We got straight hair texture beard, which is great. I got some braids on the sides, which is great, and even some new makeup, which I'm not a big fan of, but always great. And we have these two Victorian inspired outfits, which I love, but those are for the ghosts. They're ghosts in Windenburg, a kind of couple. They're NPC ghosts basically, and they're on the paintings of from the build mode. So those ghosts wear those outfits. And then there's also the night outfit, for example, which is useless for me, but I actually am using the outfit itself in my Ultimate Decade Challenge. Now for build mode, this is a very exciting pack. A lot of buildings in the gallery use this pack because it's just great styles, in my opinion. You can pull it literally every direction. So there's kind of, it's not Middle Ages, maybe it's more Tudor, but it's kind of European architecture. So there are windows, there are doors, columns, there are lots of wallpaper for outside, there's some wooden things and stone things. The furniture itself is very classic, for example, for all those buildings. And then we kind of get away from it and we get into this futuristic nightlife stuff. Like there are so many dance floors and DJ booth. And oh, important, here on the third one there, it's actually the walk-in closet, and there's many new interactions with it, which I'm obsessed with. But mostly I'm just obsessed with the build items and the stuff I can get from the gallery. I'm not a builder myself, I do build from time to time, and I'm just excited even myself to have those and think of different ways I can use those items. But also just, I think the game is so enriched just from having all those different items around, you know? So I really want to implement those in many worlds, as many as possible actually. So this is basically it, and those paintings, one you see right here under me, and another one is the first one there. Well, it's there actually. Those are the guys from the pictures that I told you about, and this is their outfits. Another thing why we have all those stone swimming pool ladders is because they created this kind of like natural pools. So you actually have swatches for the water in the swimming pools to create a more natural look. I don't know why, to be honest. I also not a person who swim in something like that. So for me it's hard to think about. But again, this could be a good, interesting build mode activity for builders out there. Saying that, I think it's time to get into the game and check what's up. Alright, so I'm in Windenburg. I took myself off so I can show the whole world for you. This is how it looks, and let's first read the description about it. So it says, take here all deep breath and enjoy the mountain air. This green, expansive playground has it all. Lush countryside, serene and rocky island cliffs, a quaint village with remnants of the old world all nested around the modern shoreside business center. And that's what you basically see behind me right here. This is all the modern business center of the town, and it's kind of in this area, it's kind of changing from this old town to the new town. But let's first check what kind of families we got here. So we have this one hunt estate, and this is where the ghosts live. There's no description for it, but this is the lot type is chalet gardens, and it's pretty cool. It's this kind of like chalet, and then which is very French actually. It could be France as well because France is just on the side of the Alps. But considering how many German or German-inspired surnames those Sims have that come with this world, I still think it's Switzerland and Germany and Austria maybe that are mostly inspiration of this world. So in this like more rich area, we have fires here, which is a very controversial family. I don't want to get into it. There's plenty of people chatting about them on Reddit and so on, because it says that this is basically mother, father, and their twin daughters, because the daughters have the same days until they age up. But the daughters look completely different. So in my head, it would make sense if the ginger mother was the ginger was her daughter was also having ginger hair, and then the girl with the black hair had her father, and they kind of father mother married, and the girls ended up together. This would make sense to me. Like that, it doesn't. I actually, for my Ultimate Decades challenge, I made my own version of them. I still haven't uploaded them because I'm still thinking if it's correct or not, but I kind of made them a little bit more similar. So this is Dominic, this is Moira, and this is how Siobhan came out, and this is how Morgan came out. So I gave them kind of a wavy textured hair. I gave them same color of the eyes. I gave them freckles. So there are some, they may not look the same, you know, their skin tones might be different, but they're still in the range of what the possibilities could be. So I don't know, I just didn't feel at peace leaving them as they are right now. And I think for creators of the game, they should really consider updating this. That's a bit meh. Anyway, let's check this. Then we have a bar. We have a residential, rustic residence, and that's kind of base game, not base game, it's enterprise lot. So when you create a family, you can live in this area like that. Then we have this free spirits, which is like two friends that are quite opposite of each other. I kind of like them, especially Mikey. Not in this, how she looks there, but actually a lot of Sims in this world, very interesting Sims cast-wise. So there was definitely a lot of thought put into not only making this world in different neighborhoods, kind of give different tastes, but somebody really worked on the Sims, I must say, and I really appreciate it. And then we have Ulrike Faust, I hope I say it right, and she's quite cool as well. In my game I changed her a little bit. Then we have Munch family, which is very important. We have Mila and her three children. We have Gunther, we have Wolfgang, and we have Lucas. And obviously this is like all German references, so I'm quite into that. What I can say is we probably are missing, like we know that they had a father, so I think they could have added a ghost into the family, or like a tombstone, and to keep him in the family tree. That's a little bit weird for those pre-made families not to have these references. Then we have this island which has all those modern estates, and it's actually one of my favorite things in this whole world is this island, because it looks super rustic and I'm obsessed. I would love to live there actually. So we have this Bjergsen family. They maybe it's not really like German surname, maybe it's something more from Netherlands, but it's still from the area. And then they have like their teenage daughter who is Dream and she wants to be a star and whatnot. So there's all this prehistory there. We have Villarreal family, which is just a father and his three children, and the Max Villarreal is evil, and they hint in the family bio that something happened with their mother. What could it be, right? I don't know, I'm too old for that. Like, tell me what's up. I kind of feel like it should be Jacques. Maybe he's crazy genius and he's dastardly. I don't know. Could be interesting. if we get some resolution, or at least we had somewhere to move on. Like in Sims 2, there was so plenty of that, it was incredible. And then we have this bro house here, they just two friends. So we have the guy called Jacquin Lachin, which I think is French, and I think he's like completely French. I think his name and surname are French. And we have Sergio Romeo, who probably is Italian or Spanish. But this is not how I envision this world. Let me open Bro Household and explain you why. I actually don't like how this island looks when you just load the game for the first time. I would go completely different direction here. So this is how the world looks. We are now in spring, so the colors may be different. And this is the island. You see, like they're here alone on this slot, and they have all this like sandy beach to themselves basically, and it's beautiful, but it's not for this like modern house. I mean, it could be, right? It could be very modern, more modern than that, or it could be very rustic. So you could really choose. Since they're on the beach, I am okay with a little bit more modern. Then this one, in my opinion, if you look just from this direction and you don't mind the other house, this potentially could be very rustic and interesting. And we have this mansion here, which is also nice, but still I don't really like this vibe here because it's an island. I want something different. And we have another mansion right here, and it looks something like that. Let me just go down. So basically it has like a little slope down here, and you have a bonfire and you have fishing spot. I don't know, you have some type of ruins and some things are happening. I really like that. I think this is a beautiful spot, but not for this house, I'm sorry. There is another lot right here, and this one is called Mid Nowhere, and it also has like a little beach on the side, and I love it. I've built before on this lot because it's always the empty one, and I think I will definitely use this lot in future for my Ultimate Decade Challenge. Now we have this old Platz, which gives you a very serious idea that this is something German. We have this like beautiful area where your Sims can live, right? And we have different families here, so let's quickly go through them. First we have kind of commercial area. We have a library, nightclub, and a cafe. So nightclub and cafe are the two new types of lots that you can use. In cafe you have new different types of coffee, and nightclub obviously you dance and you have DJ sets. And we have another bar, so there are actually like two bars, two cafes, two nightclubs. We have also a park, a gym, a swimming pool. So there are plenty of things to do here. I just don't know about the mix of everything. And in my game, usually this is not the world where I have two nightclubs, you know. And I have already checked Party House, and they kind of have this warehouse sort of built outside, but inside it's very bright and like childish in a way, because I guess many Sims would like to play there. And I want to see the Becher family. This is basically two sisters. We have Candy and Yuki, and they kind of like mixed German, mixed Japanese girls who inherited this house from their grandmother. And they just kind of moved, you know. And one of them is a DJ, another one wants to be like her sister, so there's a little bit of backstory to this. And I like it. I like the backstories, that seems right. And I actually really enjoy their house as well. So they have like a house, and they have this like two flower areas. It's very weird how everything is built, but this is basically their home. And they are inspired from my Sims, so each of them has a figurine. So this one is Yuki, it's Yuki's figurine, and it's Yuki. And the other one also has a figurine, and it's DJ Candy. But actually, they're not related in my Sims, so it's very weird, and the Sims 4 versions don't look like them. So overall, it's a very weird concept. But look at the builds are beautiful. And I'm planning to use more of those builds. Now let's quickly go around and look at this area. So this is the house I was telling you about, where Party House is. It's kind of maybe like a church. I think it's something like a factory or warehouse. And then there are some empty lots where you can live, and you have all the square, you have the chess, and this is where the nightclub, cafe, and library are. And this looks something like this, so you have the view with the mountains, like there's this whole thing, for example, for no particular reason, just for the beauty of it. And then there's all this like fake builds there. Of course, the more you go, the weirder it all becomes. But it's pretty nice how they built this area, I must say. It's a little part of the city that is playable to you, but it's beautiful. Right, here we have Yuki, and we came to this park. So there's bathroom, and it's mostly for children. There's a gardener already generated, but we are not here for this park activities, you know. I'm just here to show you this area, which is kind of like a modern part. And then we have some buildings that could be German, French, Austrian. There's so many references from Europe here. And this is like a modern version of the city. So basically, like, you look here and you think that this is where the old area was. And this, to be honest, looks a lot like France to me, rather than anything. So it's pretty interesting how they built it. And I like it. I like it a lot. And also this area could be that. So you don't know where you are, but you have no residential lots here. This is this like pontoon type of situation with different lots. And it's pretty nice. So there's cafe as well, there's the park, there are just a lot of walking areas around where you can go, and it feels like a city, you know. It does feel like a city. This is swimming pool. I usually delete it right away. I really don't understand swimming pool as a lot type. I think swimming pool could be a part of any lot, you know. Let's just maybe go to one more area with Yuki, which is the expensive residential area with the chateau there. Oh, we had the chateau and she changed into the night outfit. I don't know why. Maybe you're supposed to, maybe you're not. But basically it's like a museum, so there is like old style kitchen, there's their like living room, there are their portraits, by the way. This is the new portraits we got, and eventually you will meet those ghosts in this chateau. So basically you cannot access anything at all, but you get to kind of enjoy the surrounding. There is a wedding session there, so you can get married right here. There's piano there as well, and then there's a maze which you can also participate in, and inside the maze there's the woohoo bush. It was introduced in this pack and it was the first of its kind. So the one I have already installed from Jungle Adventures was actually later on. So there are a couple of them, you know, in this maze where you can send your Sims. Actually there's like, I've just found the third one. Those are the pools, but they are not the pools that we knew about. And then here we have a little gardening area, and here she is. So this is Mimsy, the first NPC ghost. You can potentially bring her to life, but the game will just generate another one of them. So I'm not really sure if we should even like go for that. I can just add her to the family, you know, and here she is, Mimsy. So she was dead by fire, and also her husband. Yeah, you see, Mimsy and Bernard, and he's also deceased by fire. Oh, he's right here too. What if we add both of them here? Okay, well, that's an easy way to do it with the cheats, you know. Here we have Bernard and we have Mimsy, and they're kind of starting their life, which is super fun. We should go ahead and just help two poor ghosts. Oh, they're so sweet. So potentially this could be a good, interesting thing to do, because we never get such NPCs in the game. So we have those like two lovebirds, you know. Unfortunately, two ghosts cannot have children, so you would have to use ambrosia or something to revive them. So you see, even though you cannot really check anything in the chateau, there's still many things you can do here. So you can get the seeds, or you can get the plants. There's chessboard area and kind of slash picnic, you know. And it's quite modern, kind of like well taken care of modern part. And then here you have like a little park zone. I don't know, there's not really tombstones of the two, so it's hard to bring them back to life through tombstone, but still it's a possibility. And that's how it looks. So there's basically like all the snowy area, there's it's basically a mini region by itself, this chateau. There's no other houses, there's those two just floating there. So I made it to a bar. I brought somebody with me by mistake. But here we have the bar, and it's pretty cute, kind of like very European, this type of places I like a lot, and I have plenty of those in the area where I live, for example. And this is little world, so you can see like you have this little park that has a river. It's like so intricate and nice. I would totally delete this bar from here and just do something else. And this area is definitely one of the prettiest ones. That's where all the families live. And we have here we have some ruins, I think, with the bonfire. Like you can come there and party, for example. I mean, you can party everywhere actually in this world. But it's pretty nice. Look at this. And it's animated as well, so that's nice, and you can get it in debug. And it's very good for my Ultimate Decade challenge, not gonna lie. Here it's like looks a little bit more busy, but it's not real houses. Still, very, very nice. Now, let's talk about clubs. So we have like a new button in the menu, it's called Social Groups. And you see that Yuki is part of Knights of the Hedge, so she's playing chess, it's a chess club. And let's see if she's part of any other. Yes, she also is part of avant-gardes. And I think it's kind of people who didn't fit in any other category in a way. We have Mikey, Gunter, Hugo, and Yuki in here. And do really different things. Homework together, play video games, write, drink coffee, and read. Like, that's all fine. And this is the clubs that the game has created originally. So we have Avant-Gardes, Garden Gnomes, Knights of the Hedge, League of Adventurers, Paragons, Party House, which is the same as, it's just basically in this one, it's all the people that live in that house. We have Powerhouse, Renegades, Spin Masters, the Good Timers, Upper Crusts. And you can also create your own club, which is something I usually do. Let's just put random name here, for example. You can select an icon, for example, we'll get a cocktail. You can do open invitation or invites only. So for like family club, I do invite only, so I can get just one family member, or 6 or 8 is maximum without modes. Then you can choose a club hangout. You can choose different, any cafe, any beach. You can use specific location or nothing. I usually choose home, or like main household of the family, main house per se, and then so they always come back to like family home, you know, no matter who is the leader of the club. Then you can do like, you can select club activities. Whatever they do will give club a point, whatever they do will lose club a point. And there are also requirements. So you can, for example, set up a club just with kids. So it can be kids doing homeworks, just in general spending time with somebody their own age. It's very good for social butterfly inspiration, in my opinion, really helpful. And you can select maybe children and teenagers, or young adults. You can make an elder club, which is super cute, and they can do their own things. But this is only if age, you know. You can also select just like co-workers club, or like people from the same field, maybe baristas with culinary careers. So it's kind of in the same area. In Ultimate Decade Challenge, I actually have a married club as well. So it's kind of married couples, so they get to spend time together. Since there are 4 Sims, I thought at least like 4 couples can spend time together at a time. And this seemed to me like a very good idea. I don't know if it is, but potentially it is, because you can get not married and you can find yourself a match, basically. Then you can have a specific club which is just for wealthy Sims who have more than 30,000 simoleons in their family bank, and you can hang out with your rich friends per se. Then you can choose Sims with specific trait. So alien is a trait, for example, so you can have an alien club, which is great. Let's see if we have spellcasters too. Yep, so you can make a club of spellcasters and spend time just with the spellcaster clique. And I like that. I really, really like that. And it's quite interesting. You can just do a cult, for example, one, and do it in this way. Another fun is skill level, so 2+. So they kind of at least reach the 2 first ones. You can put bowling, for example, from bowling night, and if some sims have level 2 plus, you can make a team, and this is interesting too. So there are many things you can do. Literally, you can go take it any direction, and this is the in my opinion at least, this is the main selling point of this pack. Well, it should be. I mean, the world is beautiful and they use it because it's a graphic representation mostly of this, but in my opinion this pack is more game, like it adds big chunk of gameplay, those clubs, you know, and you can change and do as you wish, and I really like that. Then for club activities, there's also many things. You can add up to 5. So for example, you can food and drink, all things grilled cheese, bake, cook, drink bar drinks, drink coffee, eat popcorn, grill. And there are many things. For example, for family, I choose like that they can repair stuff, they can clean, they can sleep or be super friendly to each other. And then they just, all the people from the club, when you start the gathering, they engage in those activities. So you kind of push your sims to be more social if you put friendly actions there, or funny as well. So this is how the clubs work, and I think this is the most important part of this pack. And if you ask me, I would say it's worth your money in case you don't have it, because it's, well, first of all, big gameplay part, big new world, very dynamic and different, can be modern, can be old style, can be European. It's a great addition, you know. Then we have also fashions. Even though they are old, they kind of not so far, you know, from current fashion, from at least the ones you wear everyday styles. Build and buy mode is just great here. Plus we get 2 new skills, which is also great. So I think overall this pack is definitely a must-have. I have nothing negative to say about it, to be honest. I really enjoyed it as expansion pack. Just because it has all those objects, I think it deserves to be expansion pack and not a game pack, even though in my opinion the main focus is gameplay. Well, before we go, we actually have to roll my randomizer wheel to see which next pack I will be installing into the game, and I'm super happy about it because I love this. This is like the best part of this whole experience. Alright, so here I go. I will try to put it on the screen, but this is basically how it looks. And I still have a lot of stuff packs, which I'm not really looking forward to have in my game more and more, but there are some nice ones. I'm mostly interested, if you ask me what I want cats and dogs, cottage living possibly, and parenthood is quite interesting, and maybe knitting and some, like, I just want something to do in my medieval ages in my Ultimate Decade Challenge. So I'm kind of looking for those packs, but whatever it is, I'll be very happy to install and make a next video about it. So let's go for it. Okay, I got Cottage Living, which is a pack I have never played, so this will take some time for me. I am super excited to play this, because it's always here, because it's the last expansion pack. I look at the picture every single day on the screen, and I really want chickens, I want cow, there's so many gardening, oh my god. For my Ultimate Decade Challenge, this couldn't go any better. So I'm going to install it right now, and from all this excitement I might actually start streaming the challenge right after I film this. Right, so the next time we see each other for a pack review, it will be for Cottage Living expansion pack, and it's great. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to click like, subscribe and leave a comment, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye!